After 23 years of waiting, Final Fantasy VII has finally been remade. Or, should I say, totally rebooted. The story beats and skeleton are the same, but a lot is very clearly different. I'm Richard for VGS, and today I'll be making sure you understand what these differences mean for the ending of Episode 1 of the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Cloud and his team find out that the ghostly whispers that have been following them through the course of the game are actually some sort of custodians of destiny.
Like capital D? Destiny?
Making sure things happen as they are supposed to, or else the unknown consequences will probably be staggering. It seems like they're ushering along the story and trying to make sure that the timelines match up between the original game and this new remake, and the fact that our heroes now have a goal in mind to fight destiny will probably continue to send ripples outward and change the world as a whole. Which makes sense, as there are already a huge number of changes and additions made to flesh out what was originally only about a 5-hour stretch of story. These changes, both big and small, have consequences that the Whispers seem to be fighting against you to preserve the original timeline. Jesse gets injured, so Cloud is forced to go in on the second bombing run. Sephiroth stabs Barret and is revived because his loss would mean the story cannot go forward without him, among others. We keep seeing little glimpses of what life will be like in the future, and until the end, we take these for flash forwards. However, Red 13 drops that those images are of a future that will come if they lose. So from that, we can insinuate that this story's next episodes are going to branch wildly. The scene we see directly before Red's explanation is a scene from the post-credits of the original game. And if that's the case, and that is a future to prevent or avoid, then maybe some scenes that we see of the future involving the fate of a certain someone may or may not come to pass in the same way, or even at all. Unless hard whisper course correction brings us all back to zero and the tragedy is compounded because of it. Well, who knows? That's probably going to end the next episode. And besides that, if you're curious about Sephiroth and his role in this game, he seems to be able to have this massive final boss fight with Cloud in the game because of their interaction with the Whispers in their weird plane between the worlds. His ability to be everywhere at once is inherently linked to Cloud's backstory, but also to a fact just barely touched on in this game. Sephiroth is a scary, all-powerful villain who will stop at nothing to destroy the Earth for Jenova if he can't reclaim it himself. And because of spoilers, he has the ability to control the men with the black robes and tattooed numbers on their arms. His consciousness can jump in and out of these at will, trying to ensure that the reunion, another big spoiler, can and will happen. It seems he just needs to get to a certain piece of the puzzle to finish up those plans. The black-haired soldier that you can see standing outside of Midgar, staring down the Whispers before fighting off a troop of soldiers, is Zack. He seems to be wearing the same clothes and using Cloud's Buster Sword, so we can infer that he was as well Soldier First Class. He is the reason that Cloud was able to make it back to Midgar after his 5-year stint working for Shinra as a Soldier First Class. That much can be said at the moment, but for more information, we will simply have to wait. The end of the game implies that he has had some kind of interaction with Eris before, and without getting into spoilers, that will definitely be touched on within the next few games. The final thing we get from the Final Fantasy VII Remake is that the untold journey will continue, and that just means we'll have to wait until the next game to see the changes they throw at us, but be aware that this new story, this new universe, may not be the same as the original. Expect the unexpected, and get ready to see just what they've done to Junon, Costa del Sol, and calm. And keep hope in your hearts that the Barrett date at the Gold Saucer is still an option. I'm Richard for VGS.